superstar status, get familiar with me. Haters scheming, wanna do me like they did Biggie. But jealous hearts gonna be hurt tonight.
Y'all, thanks for tapping into New Era TV. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And smash the like button. It helps the channel in many ways. Also, turn on your notification bell to get notified when we drop. And before you tap out, share the video. Now let's get into this. Yo, this one gonna hurt a lot of people. Smokey Robinson, an absolute icon in music history. Yeah, that's Smokey, the legend from Motown. Just got hit with some heavy allegations. We talking about multiple women accusing him of assault and rape over a span of 2 decades. And this ain't just rumors or gossip. This is a full-on lawsuit filed in court, naming not just Smokey, but even his wife, Frances Robinson, too. Now, before we dive in, remember, all of this is alleged. But the details in this case, man, they're disturbing. And if this goes the way these women say it did, phew, this could completely change how the world sees one of the most celebrated voices in music history. So here's the breakdown before we let the attorney speak for these 4 women. All former housekeepers who work inside Smokey Robinson's LA home filed a lawsuit Tuesday, May 6, 2025 in Los Angeles Superior Court. They say Smokey didn't just harass them, he raped them repeatedly over years. They're asking for at least $50 million in damages. And when you look at how long this allegedly went on, we're talking from 2007 to 2024 or so. These women ain't coming forward with no random story. They're giving timelines, roles, even how many times each of them say it happened. And it ain't just Smokey being named. His wife Frances is also listed in the lawsuit. These women say Frances not only knew about her husband's past behavior, she allegedly enabled it. They claim she created a hostile work environment, used racial slurs, and constantly berated them. We're gonna let the attorney give you the formal breakdown. Check it out.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming here today. My name is John Harris, and this is my partner, Herbert Hayden, with the firm of Harris and Hayden. 3 of our 4 clients are present here today. Who have been identified as Jane Doe. There's one appearing remotely, who you can probably see on the screen. Also is Miss Guzman, who's interpreting for us today. This is to announce that earlier today in Los Angeles Superior Court, we filed a complaint against William Smokey Robinson Jr. and his spouse, Frances Robinson. The principal causes of action against Mr. Robinson, in particular, are sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment. Obviously, these ladies are identified in the lawsuit as Doe's, Jane Doe's 1 through 4, to protect their privacy, since the lawsuit involves sexual misconduct of the worst sort. We're seeking damages of $50 million. Obviously, no amount of money can compensate these women for what Mr. Robinson subjected them to. But given the gravity of Mr. Robinson's despicable and reprehensible misconduct that is further detailed in the complaint, this amount is clearly more. Our 4 clients have a common thread. They're Hispanic women who were employed as housekeepers by the Robinsons, earning below minimum wage. As low-wage workers in vulnerable positions positions, they lack the resources and options necessary to protect themselves from sexual assault throughout their tenure as employees for the Robinsons. Let me briefly summarize each of their individual claims. I repeat, I will not describe the details of the sexual assaults and rapes because they're too graphic and disturbing for this news conference. But you can read them in the complaints that we have provided with many of you today. Let's talk about Jane Doe number 1. She worked for the Robinsons for a little over a year, from January 2023 to February 24. Mr. Robinson first sexually assaulted and raped her in March of 23, as detailed in the complaint. What he would do was summon her to his blue bedroom, which you'll probably be hearing about later on. After having just showered, he would come out of the adjoining bathroom naked and proceed to force her to have sex with him against her will. Sexually assaulted and raped her in this manner 7 times. She quit in February 2024 because she could no longer endure these sexual assaults. Jane Doe number 2. She worked for the Robinsons from May 2014 to February 2020. Smokey Robinson's modus operandi was somewhat different with her. He would ask her to meet him in areas in the home where there were no cameras. There were 2 such places or areas in their Chatsworth home, the garage and the laundry. When she would meet him at this location, he would immediately begin to sexually assault and rape her, causing her excruciating pain. He sexually assaulted and raped her in this manner 23 times. She was forced to resign because she too could no longer endure Mr. Robinson's sexual assault. Jane Doe number 3. She worked for the Robinsons as a housekeeper from February 2012 to April 2024. Mr. Robinson would call her into his blue bedroom where he would sexually assault and rape her. This occurred approximately 20 times. And like the others, she quit in April 2024 due to the repeated sexual assaults against her. Jane Doe number 4. She worked the longest as a housekeeper for the Robinsons, from October 20, 2006 to April 2024. He raped her in 3 of their homes, namely the Chatsworth home, the Las Vegas home, and the Bell Canyon home. He had a preoccupation of fondling her breasts and touching her all over her body against her will. She too quit in April 2024. The obvious question that one will ask, and I suspect most will, why didn't they report Robinson's criminal misconduct to law enforcement or go public before now? As I said before, these women were all low-wage earners, living from paycheck to paycheck. They all feared missing a payday and not being able to pay their rent or buy food for their families. Also, Smokey Robinson's celebrity status is intimidated them and all made them feel powerless. I want to add that these 4 women were afraid of shame, familial humiliation, and embarrassment. The stigma that still exists in some cultures that unfortunately blames a rape victim for the assault perpetrated against them. And having to tell their husband and children of these despicable acts against them left them overwhelmed with shame and embarrassment. So throughout their dreadful experiences with Mr. Robinson, all 4 women remained silent because many of them worked at the same time. Too embarrassed to reveal their assaults by Mr. Robinson to each other. Once they broke their silence, an avalanche of emotions began to flow between them. Hence, they're all here today. These courageous 4 women have collectively decided to come forward and share their experiences of being sexually assaulted by Mr. Smokey Robinson and stand up for their rights, as well as the rights of other women. Particularly those that may be victimized by him in the future. We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist. We further believe that these 4 women's testimony after Mr. Robinson's sexual assaults and battery against each of them will be unassailable and compelling. Our clients, these 4 courageous women, want and demand justice for themselves. And the filing of this lawsuit is the first step of their journey to achieve that objective.
We want to applaud our clients, these 4 women, for the courage that they've demonstrated since they've retained us as their attorneys to bring them justice, to bring to light what they have endured for countless years until they've decided that they've had enough and left the employment of the Robinsons. So with that being said, at this point in time, I'd like to take your questions regarding the case. We'll go right here with I don't want to get too much into the particulars of the initiation of the lawsuit. Obviously, the women all worked together. Some of their shifts did overlap, and there was a common thread between them that led to the filing of the lawsuit today. For any further questions, I direct you to our email address, press@harrishaven.com. Well, I think that the complaint speaks for it in great detail. She was aware of the misconduct by her husband, Smokey Robinson, and that she used We have not been contacted by the district attorney's office yet. Obviously, we're more than happy to cooperate. Well, again, no police reports have been filed by our clients as of yet, given their fear. I think that's something that we need to discuss. Well, I do think so. Yes, I do.
We're not inclined to identify them as such and help in that regard. We want to maintain their privacy, and for that reason, we don't want to say who's one. You guys are good at what you do, and it wouldn't take long to figure it out. Okay, understood. But we're going to keep them anonymous as possible.
So that is not an allegation that we're making. We believe that the fact that these women are Hispanic, they come from cultures that sort of demonize the accusers of rape and sexual assault, that stigma was used against them by Robinson. Obviously, the employer-employee relationship a big factor in that as well. Not at this point, no. Well, I think what we mean by that is that obviously within the Hispanic community, particularly in this community, there is a fear of reprisal based upon any insinuation or insinuation issue. So I think that speaks for itself. Hesitancy in making that an issue in this case. Correct.
for example, all of them, or most of them, maybe not all of them, they worked 60 hours a week. They were chastised by Mrs. Robinson if they tried to take breaks. And that's part of the allegation. Just the employer-employee relationship violated the alleged numerous labor.
I don't want to say they were held prisoner, but I do think that they were beholden to the employer-employee relationship with the Robinsons, which left them in a conundrum of what they should do if they want to maintain their livelihood.
And I might add, one of the allegations is false imprisonment. When he was committing these acts, they did not feel free to leave. Well, $50 million. That's it. We wanted to get his attention. It's a serious matter, and the assault against these four women was horrendous and despicable. Hence, the big number. Total, not yeah, well, all the labor code violations are against her. I'm sorry. All the labor code violations are against her.
I think the intentional infliction of
And the
emotional
intentional
distress,
infliction of emotional distress.
hostile work environment as well.
I'm unaware of an Indiana. They just finally had enough. They couldn't take it anymore. They just collectively decided to quit. Well, we believe that there was some knowledge of prior misconduct of a sexual nature against other individuals against him. And we're alleging that she was aware of that and she took no preventive action. We understand that perhaps there were situations where they resolved in court that she knew or should have known of the allegations.
I think with that, we're going to close the press conference.
Look, it's hard to even read this stuff, let alone speak on it. But it's real, and it's happening. If these women are telling the truth, and honestly, their stories feel consistent, detailed, and emotional, then Smokey Robinson got some serious consequences coming his way. We'll be following this story closely. If the Robinsons respond, we'll break that down too. Until then, keep your eyes open, protect each other, and remember, justice ain't for the famous, it's for everybody. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do these allegations shock you? Can you still separate the music from the man? Or is this another R. Kelly situation where once it's exposed, it's a wrap? Hit the like button if you made it this far, subscribe for more real talk, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.